creative by nature. We have a drive for creative expression. And whether your creativity shows up as painting or writing or gardening or cooking or choreography or engineering or coding, it's not really important. What matters is expressing your creative nature. Of course, activating as many drives as possible helps you live fully. I've written about this before. Just recently, I wrote about all 10 of the human drives and the human drives framework, which is part of the high performance coaching curriculum that I deliver in my Inspired Creator community. So, it's really important that we're activating all these drives, because when we do that, we live fully. But here's the good news. When you activate the human drive for creative expression, you simultaneously activate all 9 other drives. So one creative act can charge up your life in numerous ways, just by being creative. Isn't that amazing? So here's the thing. If you want to activate all your drives at the same time, do something creative. That's my challenge to you. Do something creative, because then you're going to feel so alive. When you express yourself creatively, the other 9 drives naturally come into play. You don't have to do anything to make that happen. And as a result, you live more passionately, enthusiastically, joyously, and meaningfully. So imagine what it would be like to be a creator, to consistently bring forth creations into the world. What would your life be like? It definitely wouldn't be comfortable or caged, which I've talked about previously. What would your days in your life be like? What kind of difference would you have made in 3 to 5 years if you were engaging all your drives just by being creative? So let's look at how this works, okay? If you were to pick one creative project that you wanted to do, maybe you want to write a book, you want to paint a painting, you wanted to create a flower garden or a new website design, or maybe that's what you do for a living is website design, or you want to choreograph a piece, a dance piece, or compose a piece of music, or create a gourmet meal for your family. It doesn't really matter what it is, but pick one project. Here's what would happen if you engaged in that one creative act. Okay, so first, let's look at creativity and the drive for control. I've said before in my last blog post that too much control we know is not a good thing, but we can control for the things that matter, that are important. So as you work on your creation, you control your focus. You control your focus, your emotions, and your behavior. Your creative endeavor is going to make you feel happy, excited, passionate. You may feel on purpose or fulfilled by this creative act. You stop worrying about the things you can't control as you control how you show up and what you do and where you place your attention. And it's on that creativity, and so you get in the flow, and you're controlling all sorts of things, right? That are worth controlling. Okay, let's look at creativity and the drive for competence. So even if you're learning a new skill, you're developing confidence by doing so. So whatever you're creating, if it requires a new skill, it's okay. You're developing that competence, right? And that results in more confidence. We know there's this competence confidence loop, which I have written about and talked about. And that confidence actually fuels your ability to take on new tasks and become skilled at them. If you already have the skill to complete your creative project, then the creative act actually brings your competence level and your competence level to the forefront, and it raises them. That means you feel in control of the project and and you can move forward boldly with courage, which is another drive. Okay, so we can see how these are all overlapping. Okay, creativity and the drive for congruence, which is another human drive. If your creativity is an expression of who you are, your authentic self, then creating something, especially something you feel helps you fulfill your purpose, or is an expression of who you really are, that's going to make you feel congruent. We all want to have that our inner and our outer selves are aligned, and to express that from that place of alignment. So as you produce creative work that is an expression of who you really are, you become more aligned with your inner and your inner and outer selves line up, and you feel congruent, and therefore you are activating the drive for congruence. Okay, what about the drive for caring? So creative expression is an act of caring. First, it's an act of caring for yourself, because you're doing something that feeds your mind, your heart, your soul, and that's self-care. But what you create may also be an act of caring for others as well, like making your husband a beautiful meal, or sewing a costume for your child, or designing a bouquet of flowers for an elderly neighbor, writing a book that you know will help others. These are all caring acts, but they're creative acts. Then we have the drive for connection. Now, when you create something for others that they can enjoy or use, you're actually connecting them to your creation, but also to you, because your creation is an expression of yourself, right? So it connects you to them as well. You also connect your creative nature, your soul, your higher self, your authentic being. So the act of creating is connecting you with these aspects of yourself that when you're not being creative, you may not be as connected to. Whatever you create and put out into the world is like connective tissue between you and others and your higher self, you and the creation. It's all connective tissue, right? And you can connect to all types of people through your creations. You can develop new relationships, connect with new opportunities, connect with well, I'm going to talk in a little while about consciousness, but that connection with your higher self and your soul, that's a level of consciousness. So connecting in a lot of different ways. The drive for change is another human drive, and creativity engages this drive for change because you're bringing something new into the world. You're changing something, right? So anytime we bring something new into the world, there's change. And so the creative process is about change. Anything new represents change and activates this drive. Creativity is often fueled by the drive for change, to see something differently or to express in a new way. Think about the fact that problem solving is creative. And so, sometimes we have to solve a problem and get that solution to change a situation, right? Now, maybe the change is within you. Maybe it's a new point of view as you're doing this creative project. Maybe it's the new skill. You might be changing who you are, from someone who did X to someone who does Y, right? That's a change, a new way of doing something, new way of being in the world. Maybe the change is the medium that you're using for your creation. Like if you're a painter, maybe it's watercolors instead of oils, right? Maybe the change comes in the form of a new solution, as I said, to an old problem, or a new book project, or a different way of approaching your choreography, or whatever it is that you create. Okay, challenge. We have a drive for challenge, and creativity engages that drive as well. Matter of fact, creativity often arises out of the drive for challenge. A challenge forces us to think differently, to stretch, to grow, to find new solutions, and to be creative, right? So when we feel a challenge, we have to stretch and change and grow and find new ways to do things, right? A new creative project, though, is always a challenge as well. And therefore it engages this drive, right? Because when we decide to take on a new creative project, our mind and just everything about how we approach that is from a place of challenge. What about the drive for contribution? This is another human drive. Okay, so most creatives are creating from a place of wanting to contribute in some way. Maybe they create for to give others pleasure, or to be of service, or like to care, which brings in caring, right? To care for others, or to add something new that challenges old beliefs. There's challenge again. Or inspires new ways of seeing a situation, or provides a deeper understanding. But in some way, we're wanting to contribute. I know for authors, who I work with a lot, and of course I am an author, a lot of times our creations are meant to be a contribution, to be of service to other people. But I think that if you think about choreographers, dance choreographers, often they want to contribute, not just artistically, but to the social conversations. A lot of artists are making statements about the human condition. We have poets like Amanda Gorman who are creating as a contribution in meaning and putting out their point of view on what's happening in the world, right? Okay, and last comes the drive for consciousness. And I've heard it said that artists and other creatives have a way of accessing higher consciousness. It's as if they channel the information and then place it in a form that we can, other people can comprehend. Whether you believe that or not, a good book, composition, a ballet, all these things, they can change our consciousness. They likely change the consciousness of the person who created them, because that person learns something new and achieves new awareness, but their higher consciousness, their new level of consciousness and how that comes through in their work then impacts those of us who get to experience that creation. The work, it opens kind of a portal for the rest of us to move through, and that changes our level of awareness, our level of consciousness. So I think that's a really important element, because that's another level of contribution too, right? When something changes our consciousness. Could also be seen as a caring act. So if you're a creative, know that each creative action you take, each project you work on, is a way of engaging your drive for creative expression. But in the process of engaging the drive for creative expression, you are engaging all the other drives, and that means you're functioning at a peak state. That's why when we're working on creative projects, we so much more easily get in the flow, because all our drives are engaged. And we lose track of form, we perform extraordinary feats, our work is elevated, things seem easy to us, we're getting information on how to do things that's different and unique, and that's what happens when all our human drives are engaged. So all it takes is creativity. Engage your drive for creative expression, and you will engage all the other 9 drives. You'll have all 10 human drives functioning at the same time, and you will be fully alive, fully expressed, operating on all cylinders. You will live fully, and you will feel, like I said, engaged, enthusiastic, passionate, joyous, excited, all those amazingly positive emotions. So that's what I want for you. So do something creative today. You know me, I'm the Inspiration to Creation coach. So get inspired. Combine your passion with your purpose. You'll get inspired. Take some inspired action, and you will get some inspired creative results. Okay, you will create something amazing. If you want to find out more about me, go on over to ninaamir.com, NINAAMIR.com. I'm a certified high performance coach, a law of attraction coach, a certified law of attraction coach. Did I say that? high performance coach, law of attraction, author coach, inspired results coach. Yeah, lots of types of coaching. But what I really want to do is I want to get you from where you are now to where you want to go with nothing getting in the way, primarily you. So let's work on your mindset, your habits, you being the person who can create what you want in your life. Step into your personal power and your power as a creative being. So if that's of interest to you, go on over to ninaamir.com, sign up for a free strategy session with me. We can talk about high performance and personal growth or spiritual growth. We can talk about your book project, whatever it is. But go on over to ninaamir.com, sign up for a free session. Or join my Inspired Creator Community. I mentioned that earlier. The Inspired Creator Community is where I combine personal and spiritual growth, meaning high performance coaching and ancient wisdom, metaphysics, spirituality to help you step into your best self. But the Inspired Creator Community is also now the home of the Nonfiction Writers University Master's Level. So it also contains a 7-year archive of resources for writers and educational materials for writers, and every month there's author coaching along with all the other types of coaching. So if you're a writer and you're interested in all the kind of woo-woo stuff and you're interested in personal growth, the Inspired Creator Community is just the place for you. So that is it for today. I hope to speak to you sometime soon. I hope you will go out there and create and engage all your drives. Until I talk to you next time, go out there and achieve more inspired results.